The energy we're moving through as a collective right now feels so complicated. It feels erratic. It feels like nobody really knows what's going on. And while there's a lot being said about it, given that we're in between two major eclipses, I thought I'd take some time and record this audio to liken this energy to a birth. I don't consciously remember what it was like going through the birth canal for the first time. As soon as I put my head down to rest, this imagery came through. There was a tightness in my chest, confusion, fear, darkness. It's unpleasant. The energy right now feels exactly like what it would feel like. It feels like we don't know what's happening, but it's still happening. It feels like it can't be stopped, and the truth is that it can't be. It feels dark. It feels scary, unpleasant, and it feels confusing. This one is a birth like no other. It isn't a rebirth. It's a birth. When I say it's not a rebirth, this doesn't feel like the shedding that we've been going through. This doesn't feel like the kind of shedding we go through in a rebirth. This feels new, and like nobody gave you a manual on how to navigate this path, this feeling, and like it's totally unclear what's going on. You might feel like crying for no reason, or maybe even just sick to your stomach. It's okay. But I'm asking you to please not hold back. Don't hold back those tears. Don't hold back the feeling of needing to succumb to this feeling inside your chest, this feeling in your face like you just want to cry. Succumb to this new notion of surrender, because I think that's one of the things we're here to learn. Even the way it happens in a birth, there's one direction, and trying to resist it will only prolong the process. You can't stop this process now. I think generally we underestimate the power of crying, the power of succumbing to your emotions. Again, because our first cry of our lives is straight after birth, and it's a forced, unplanned, and unpleasant cry. So we generally don't have a healthy relationship with crying. But I'll tell you something. If you consciously allow yourself to succumb to tears, to succumb to crying, to accept that you're scared and you don't know what's going on, this will change your relationship with your tears. It will change how you process your emotions. It will change how you up-level yourself in terms of how you transmute energy for yourself. Crying is like going into a dark room. You might avoid it, but the tears are like being given the directions to the switch. You switch that light on, and you'll know exactly what's in that room, and you'll never forget what's in that room. And once you agree to take those directions, the lights come on faster than you expect. And if you struggle to release tears, just close your eyes for a short while and focus your attention on where you feel the emotion. That's all you need. Just before I started recording this audio, I closed my eyes and immediately saw the image of a leaf almost falling down in front of my face, followed by another one. This leaf represents our nature, and it represents growth and rebirth. And I feel like this leaf falling almost explains this perfectly. It's as if the leaf is already falling. The growth is already happening. The rebirth is already happening. It cannot be stopped. 6 months ago, we went through the 2 eclipses. In October, we had the new moon in Libra. I can't remember the dates exactly, but this is the aftermath. At that point, we were all going through, there was somewhat of an awakening to something new. We started trying new things. Around the Virgo leading into Libra season, we started trying something new. We almost stepped outside of our comfort zones. This coincided with a shake-up in our relationships, starting to look at what's not working, but also at the same time as looking right inside of ourselves and seeing what is working and what we can take a leap on, what we can try just a little bit. Well, here we are 6 months later, and so much work has been done. There's been so much dedication to what our hearts want. We've lost control of the birth. And what I really want you to see here, to notice, is how linked your boundaries, how you spend your energy, And the things that you remove from your life that you need to are so linked to your work and your purpose. It is in making these changes that we're able to reduce the timeline between where we find ourselves and where we want to be. There's this baby, this creation that's been incubating in our bellies, and we've been nurturing it through improved boundaries, through engaging our wishes, our dreams, our desires. And now we're here. It's happening. So mostly I just want to reassure you that you aren't by yourself. This is a collective awakening. This is a collective birth. And however scary things may seem, just the unknown and the confusing emotions, however scary that might feel to face those feelings, just know that even when a new baby comes into the world, its parents also don't know what to do with it when it's their first time, but that what you do with it will feel natural to you if you allow the process to take place. It will feel natural to you because it's your baby. You say when to press start. You say what needs to change. You say what's not working for your baby and what is. You inherently know what to do. It is your nature. And this creation of yours is born of you. It's born of you. That's what you should never forget. You won't allow fear to make you forget that. And now I close my eyes again and I got the imagery of a brick, which is such a beautiful one. What do we do with bricks? We build. We start with the foundation. We're starting from scratch. You're starting from a clear slate. You choose the bricks. You decide how to lay them out. And here's the thing, because you've already knocked old structures of yours down, you know exactly where to lay each brick. Just give it time. Brick by brick, just give it time. Be patient. I'm going to take a moment and just would like you to just take a deep breath in with me into your chest. Put your thumb in the middle of your chest, on your sternum. That's the middle of your rib cage, your breastbone, and breathe into that spot and hold it in for 3 seconds and release it. These are the images I've been receiving. The birth was the biggest thing I felt like I needed to explain. And most importantly, to explain that you are not going through this alone. This is a collective awakening. And the more you engage your emotions in this regard, the more you do for everyone else who's challenged by this feeling. It feels like a pressure cooker. It feels like the canal is narrow. It feels like there's so much pressure. Too many of us are trying to resist what is happening right now. But the only way through is through. And most importantly, to explain that you are not going through this alone. This is a collective awakening. And the more you engage your emotions in this regard, the more you do for everyone else who's challenged by this feeling. It feels like a pressure cooker. It feels like the canal is narrow. It feels like there's so much pressure. It feels like too many of us are trying to resist what is happening right now. But the only way through is through.